You are the type of owner who genuinely tries. You lace up your shoes, you grab the leash, you put in the miles because you love your dog and you want them to be happy. But if your dog is still pacing the house after a 5-mile hike, still nudging you, still unable to settle, then all that effort is not solving the real problem. I am going to show you why 10 minutes of scent work triggers a level of neurological fatigue that no amount of pavement pounding ever could. What you are about to learn completely changed the way I think about exercise and enrichment for dogs. Because the problem was never how far you walk. It was never about distance or duration. It was about what is happening, or more accurately, what is not happening, inside your dog's brain the entire time. And once you understand that, everything shifts. Let us start with something that probably sounds very familiar. You come home from a long walk. Your dog has covered serious ground. Their paws are tired, you are tired, and you think, okay, surely they will crash now. But 20 minutes later they are at your feet, pawing at you, spinning near the door, chewing something they should not be chewing. And you feel a creeping guilt, like you are somehow failing them despite doing everything right. Here is the thing. You are not failing, but the walk itself might be. This is what I call the illusion of the physical exhaust pipe. The idea that if you just drain your dog's body enough, their mind will follow. It feels logical. It looks logical. A tired dog is a good dog, right? Except that formula is incomplete, and for high-energy dogs, it can actually backfire in a way that most owners never see coming. When you walk your dog the same route, at the same pace, covering the same kind of terrain day after day, something happens inside their physiology that works directly against you. Their cardiovascular system adapts. Their muscles strengthen. Their stamina builds. You are not tiring them out. You are training them. You are literally creating a canine athlete, and athletes need more stimulus over time to feel the same level of effort. This is the treadmill effect, and it is one of the most overlooked reasons why high-energy dogs seem impossible to satisfy. Think about it from a human perspective. If you started running 3 miles a day, the first week would flatten you. But 6 months later, 3 miles barely registers. Your body has adapted. The same thing happens in your dog. The hike that used to knock them out for an afternoon eventually becomes just another Tuesday. So you walk further, and they adapt again. It becomes a cycle you cannot win. But here is what nobody tells you about that restless dog pacing your living room. The pacing is not a sign of physical energy left to burn. It is a sign of a brain that has not been asked to do anything all day. Physical movement and mental engagement are not the same thing. They activate completely different systems, and only one of those systems produces the deep, settled calm you are actually looking for. Let us talk about what is happening neurologically when a dog uses their nose in a focused, purposeful way. A dog's brain is wired around scent in a way that is almost impossible to overstate. Up to 40 times more of a dog's brain is dedicated to analyzing smell compared to a human's. When your dog is genuinely working a scent, meaning actively tracking, problem-solving, and following an odor to its source, their entire nervous system shifts into a focused, engaged state that is metabolically expensive. In plain terms, it costs the brain a significant amount of energy to do this work. This is neurological fatigue, and it is fundamentally different from physical fatigue. Physical fatigue is your dog's legs being tired. Neurological fatigue is your dog's brain being genuinely, deeply worked. And it is the second kind that produces that beautiful, boneless, floor-melting sleep you have probably seen on rare occasions and desperately wanted more of. Scent work, even in its simplest form, triggers this response. When you hide a treat or a specific object and ask your dog to find it, you are not playing a cute little game. You are activating the same neurological pathways that working dogs use in search and rescue. You are asking their brain to process layered information, make decisions, follow faint trails, and problem solve in real time. And it is hard, genuinely hard, in a way that a walk around the block simply is not. Research into canine behavior and cognition consistently shows that dogs who receive regular mental enrichment, specifically nose-based problem solving, display significantly reduced anxiety behaviors, less destructive activity, and more voluntary rest compared to dogs who receive only physical exercise. The brain work produces a calm that physical work alone cannot replicate. So what does this actually look like in practice? Start simple. Take 3 small containers, cups, or boxes, and hide a high-value treat under one of them. Let your dog watch you do it the first time, just to understand the game. Then shuffle them gently and let your dog use their nose to find it. Watch what happens. Watch how focused they become. Watch how their body language shifts from scattered and restless to locked in and deliberate. That shift is the beginning of neurological engagement. Once they have the concept, you stop letting them watch. You leave the room, you hide the treat somewhere in a small area, and you release them to find it. Start with easy hides low to the ground in open spaces. As they get better, you raise the difficulty. You hide things higher up. You use smaller spaces with more scent competition. You increase the number of hides. You work up to full rooms, multiple objects, and eventually outdoor areas. 10 to 15 minutes of this kind of work, done consistently, will do more for your dog's mental state than an hour of leash walking. Not because walking is bad, walking is genuinely valuable for other reasons, for joint health, socialization, environmental exposure. But walking alone was never going to solve the boredom problem, because boredom is not a physical state, it is a cognitive one. High-energy dogs are not difficult dogs. They are intelligent dogs who need their intelligence to be used. When that intelligence sits idle, it does not rest quietly. It turns into restlessness, destructive behavior, anxiety, and that relentless attention-seeking that wears you down by the end of the day. The dog is not being bad. The dog is screaming in the only language they have, that their brain is starving. And here is the payoff that nobody talks about. When you start meeting that cognitive need, when you give your dog real mental work on a regular basis, the dynamic between you shifts. They are not just physically tired. They are satisfied. There is a difference and you will feel it. The restlessness that used to follow you room to room starts to quiet. The settling happens faster. The evenings get easier. And the walks you do take together become something you both actually enjoy. Because you are not white-knuckling it through 5 miles hoping this time it finally works. If this reframed the way you think about your dog's energy, try 1 cent session before your next walk and see what happens to their behavior afterward. Start with the 3-container game tonight. 5 minutes, a handful of treats, no special equipment needed. Then come back and watch the next video on building a full scent work routine at home, because this is just the beginning. Thanks for watching. If you loved this video, scan the QR code on the screen right now to subscribe and join the Pawsome Life family. Give your dog a belly rub for us, and we will see you in the next video.